You're alone. I don't mean physically alone, though maybe you are. I mean solo alone. It's a kind of alone you feel in a crowded room, scrolling through a highlight reel of other people's victories while you re-sitting in the quiet, dusty rubble of your own. You gave it everything. It's the late nights that stole sleep. It's the early mornings that stole peace. You said no to parties, 2 weekends off, 2 mindless relaxation. You invested money you weren't sure you had, time you couldn't afford to lose, and a piece of your heart into this thing, this dream, this goal, this business, this art, this recovery. And here you are, staring at a screen that shows failure, looking at a bank account that whispers not enough, feeling a body that's tired down to its bones, hearing a silence from the world that's louder than any applause. The voice in your head isn't motivational anymore. It's not the coach, it's the critic. And it's on a loop. Who are you kidding? You're not built for this. Look at them. They did it. Why can't you? Maybe this is the sign. Maybe giving up is just being smart. Maybe stopping is just admitting the truth. You feel the weight of it. The loneliness of a path no one seems to understand. The shame of a stumble you're afraid to tell anyone about. The terrifying question, what if I keep going and it just gets worse? I know I am not here today as someone on a mountaintop looking down at you in the valley. I am in the trench with you. I have felt the coldness of that floor. I have measured the distance between effort and reward and found it to be a cruel, infinite thing. This video is not a pep talk. It's a lifeline. It's a signal flare sent into your darkness from mine. The message is this: you are exactly where you need to be. Your loneliness is not evidence of your unworthiness. It is the price of a path less traveled. Your failure is not proof of your incapacity. It is data, raw, unrefined, painful, essential data. And this feeling, this crumbling, giving up, can't take another step, feeling is not the end of your story. Let me tell you the best kept secret in the world. The one every quitter learns just one day too late. Everyone quits 5 feet from the gold. History is not made by people who never wanted to give up. History is made by people who wanted to give up, who felt it in their marrow, who wrote the resignation letter in their mind. And then, for a reason they couldn't even articulate, took one more shuffling, pathetic, unimpressive step forward. Think about the scientists in the lab on the 299th failed experiment. The sludge in the beaker is just another in a long line of disappointments. The grant money is drying up as the colleagues are talking. It's the logical, sane decision is to conclude the hypothesis is wrong, to quit, to publish the negative results and move on. But she stays. She tweaks one variable, so small it seems insignificant. Experiment 300, and it begins to glow. 5 feet from the gold, the writer with the stack of rejection letters thicker than the manuscript, 50th agent says no thanks. The dream isn't just deferred, it's publicly humiliated. The logical step is to file it away, a youthful folly. But he opens the document one more time, changes the opening sentence. Not because he's inspired, but because he's stubborn. He sends query letter 51, 5 feet from the gold. The athlete in the pre-dawn gym, rehabbing the injury that took away their peak. The muscle isn't responding. The pain is a constant companion. The record books have forgotten them. The comeback is a joke everyone gets but them. Smart move is to listen to the doctors, to accept the new, quieter life. But they lace up the shoe. They do the excruciating, boring, foundational exercise for the 10,000th time, not for glory, just because they said they would. 5 feet from the gold, see. Right before the breakthrough, the universe performs a final, brutal test. It's not a test of your talent, or your intelligence, or your lucky stars. It's a test of your faith. Faith in the invisible thread that connects your effort to an outcome you cannot yet see. Faith in the version of you that exists on the other side of this pain, the one who is grateful you didn't stop. Faith that the world needs precisely what you are building in the dark, even if the world is screaming for you to be quiet. The moment you feel most like giving up is the moment the universe is asking in a whisper, how badly do you want it? Is it a wish? Or is it a vow? When you want to quit, you are standing on an invisible line. On one side of that line is the story you will tell for the rest of your life about the time you almost made it. I was so close. It will be a ghost that haunts your comfort. On the other side of that line is a different story. It starts with, there was a day I wanted to quit more than I wanted to breathe. and I chose to breathe anyway. That line is the only thing that separates the almost from the after, and you are standing on it right now. So why does it have to be so hard? Why the loneliness? Why the silent struggle? Because darkness has a purpose. The dark night of the soul is not a punishment. It is a builder. A tree that grows in a perfectly calm, sunny greenhouse is weak. Its roots are shallow. Its branches are fragile. It cannot withstand a storm. But a tree that grows on a rocky mountainside, battered by wind, tested by frost, forced to drive its roots deep into cracks in the stone to find water, that tree becomes unshakable. The very storms that threaten to destroy it become the reason it cannot be moved. Your mind is that tree. The easy path builds nothing but entitlement. The hard path, the dark path, the path where you are utterly alone with your resolve, that path forges resilience. It forges character. It forges a strength that cannot be downloaded, bought, or inherited. It must be earned in the currency of tears, sweat, and silent perseverance. This darkness is stripping away everything that is not essential. It is burning away the superficial motivations, the desire for quick applause, for instant validation, for easy money. The fire is hot, and it hurts because it's consuming the parts of you that signed up for the victory parade, but not for the march. What remains in the ashes? The core, the truth, the raw, unadorned. Why? Why did you start? Not to be famous, not to be rich. You started because there was a song in you that needed to be sung, a healing in you that needed to be shared, a question in you that demanded an answer, a potential in you that refused to sleep. The darkness is making you simple. It is reducing you to your essence, and your essence is powerful. Your essence does not quit. Think of the most inspiring people you know, the ones you truly respect. I guarantee you do not respect them for their easy lives. You respect them for their hard-fought victories. You respect them for the nights they endured, the doubts they faced down, the times they continued when it made no logical sense. Their darkness became the contrast that made their light so brilliant. You are in the apprenticeship of greatness, and the master teacher is not praise. It is pressure. It is not the spotlight. It is the shadow. And now, the most important part. The part that fuels everything. Keep going, especially when no one sees you. The victory that is born in the spotlight is an orphan, has no depth. The victory that is conceived, nurtured, and labored over in total obscurity. That victory has roots that reach the center of the earth. This is where your character is built. In the unseen altar of your daily discipline. When you go for that run and no one posts a screenshot, you write that page and no one gives you a like, when you make that cold call and no one buys, when you study that textbook while your friends are out, when you choose the hard right over the easy wrong and no one ever knows, these are the deposits. These silent, unseen acts of courage are the coins you are dropping into the bank of your future self. You cannot see the balance growing. It feels like you are putting them into a void. But you are building a fortune of unshakable self-trust. The world celebrates the explosion. But the miracle was the pressure that built up for years in the dark. The world applauds the best-selling book. But the masterpiece was the 1,000 silent mornings at the keyboard. The world marvels at the championship-winning shot. But the victory was the 10,000 missed shots in an empty gym. Your private discipline is your public power. The invisible work creates the invincible spirit. Do it for the you that exists 10 years from now. That version of you is watching you right now through the veil of time. They are not judging your bank account or your social media stats. They are watching your choices. They are either pleading with you, please don't stop. I'm right here waiting for you. Just keep building me. Or they are hanging their head in regret. That was the moment. That was the turn. And you turned away. Make the choice that your future self will thank you for with tears of gratitude. So here we are, you in your cave, me sending this signal. The weight is in your hands. The giving up point is here. This is not a seminar. This is an intervention for your spirit. You have permission to be tired. You do not have permission to surrender. You have permission to be scared. You do not have permission to retreat. You have permission to weep from frustration. You do not have permission to abandon the version of you that is waiting on the other side of this. The dream you have is not an accident. That nagging, relentless voice that won't let you quit completely, that's not torture. That's your destiny pulling you forward. It is the gravitational force of a future you are meant to inhabit. You are a story in the middle of a sentence, and the protagonist is at the crossroads. The reader is holding their breath. What happens next? I will tell you what happens next. You take the very feeling of giving up, that heaviness, that despair, that exhaustion, and you use it as fuel. You harness the disappointment, and you let it burn away your excuses. You take the loneliness, and you let it solidify your independence. You take the failure, and you let it be the foundation you build upon. You stand up right now. In your room, in your office, in your car. You stand up to the part of you that wants to lie down. You take one action. Just one. It's the smallest, most insignificant step forward. You send the email. You do the first rep. You write the first sentence. You make the plan for tomorrow. You do it not because you are guaranteed success. You do it to prove to yourself who is in charge. You do it to defy the critic. You do it to honor the dream. You do it because the world needs people who know how to walk through fire and come out, not just alive, but forged. So I have one last command for you. One instruction. You ready? Get back to work. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel better. Now. With the tears in your eyes, if they're there. With the weight on your back. With the silence as your only audience. Get back to work. The breakthrough is not a mystical event that happens to you. It is a physical event you create through you. It is the direct result of the step you take after you think you have nothing left. Your legacy is being written in this exact moment. In the choice between the comfort of stopping and the agony of continuing, choose the agony. Choose the work. Choose the unseen, unthanked. Relentless forward motion. Get back to work. The world is waiting for what you will become on the other side of this. But more importantly, you are waiting for you. Now go. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. The night is always darkest before the dawn. But you do not need to see the dawn to believe in it. You only need to trust that your next step is a part of the march toward it. Keep marching. We need you here.